Hey everybody, Coach Spiewak here with Spiewak Training and Spiewak Racing. Our Spiewak Racing team took a tour of the Greater St. Louis Marathon course this past Sunday. We checked out miles 16 through 22, which we were really excited about. We started over at one of our favorite coffee shops in the Central West End called Northwest Coffee, and we headed over to Sarah Street that took us over to the Grove. That was the next part of the course. For a marathoner, I think you're going to really enjoy running through the Grove through miles 16 and 22. This is a part of the course that is very difficult, from a marathon perspective. But the course itself, when you go through the Grove, is very flat. You'll probably have a lot of spectators at this point just because this is a fun, exciting part of the town that will most likely bring a lot of people out. And I love the fact that it goes over to one of my favorite breweries in town, which is Urban Chestnut, which is at the end of the Grove as you head over to Forest Park. Sometimes all we need in a marathon is familiarity, especially when you get to the later half of the course. And when it comes to the Greater St. Louis Marathon, you're going to obviously, miles 16 to 22, be running through the Grove. But then you head over to Forest Park, which is obviously such a big staple part of most of our running communities, normal runs and long runs and things like that. And so as you get to this part of the course, I think it's going to be really energizing for you because you're going to understand the terrain. You're going to have, beautiful things to look at, especially heading into the park. And overall, I think it's just going to be a fun spot for you and probably a great place for friends and family to come check you out before you head to the finish line. Overall, miles 16 through 22 are not extremely difficult. Yes, there'll be some hills like anything in St. Louis. When you get into Forest Park along the Jefferson Lake there is a little bit of an incline. However, there are a lot of downhills to this part of the course too. Basically, what we're doing in this part of the course is that we're heading out into Forest Park, and then we're basically coming back and retracing our steps, which sometimes that can be challenging for runners, but I think it's actually going to be super motivating for you because you're going to have a lot of people that you're passing by. There's going to be a lot of energy from the other participants on the course. And like I said, I think that you'll have a lot of friends and family and just overall spectators that are going to be able to come get you at this point and really cheer you on and pump you up. And as you're preparing for a marathon, really do your best, I would say, to try to hit the different parts of the course that we obviously are touring here with Spiewak Racing in your training runs, in your long runs, so that you have a better understanding of what this terrain looks like, especially when you get to race day. You don't want any surprises. But we are fired up for the Greater St. Louis Marathon weekend, and hopefully this gives you a little bit of an insight of what the course looks like from miles 16 to 22 on the marathon, and we're looking forward to checking out the next section of the course here soon.